Calling to order the meeting of the Heritage Commission. Let's see, it is May 20th. Let's stand and say pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm gonna do roll call. Chairwoman Christine Arnold here. Co-chairwoman Deirdre Murphy.
Here.
John Silva.
Here.
Kimberly Willis.
Here.
Helen Dorsey. Here. Everyone is here. Thank you.
Everybody get a chance to read the minutes online? Make a motion. Did there any problems?
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's approved. So, first thing under old business is the Shadow Box Memorial Project.
I just need a, what time frame we need to get it done by, and,
We'd like to have the memorial for July 4th. And you have the woman's card in Melrose.
no.
I'll give you her card. I'll get it to you.
Okay.
I'll get you the information, yeah, she already quoted me the price. We talked about it a while ago when I was trying to get it done for Chautauqua. And so, she's in that.
So I just have to pick up the items and bring them to her.
Yeah, and she'll, she does this kind of stuff. She'll know how to display, what should go in them, and plus your background, what would mean the most to the officers.
Do we have to set up a date to grab the stuff, or just whenever we get a chance to grab it?
That's going to be something that's on our agenda. We're going to be moving it so it can be
Okay.
separated. So we'll go ahead and I'll pull the stuff out.
Okay.
And then you can pick them up from my house at your convenience.
Okay.
Okay. So that's still, and then, do we have to do anything to get on the schedule for the 4th?
Well, sort of. You just need to tell me what time, and I have a schedule of when I have everybody scheduled out. If I remember correctly, because I don't have it in front of me, the pie baking contest was immediately after the parade at 12, and then 12:30 was a hot dog eating contest. There's a baby crawling contest this year, as well. And then we have, just different people performing around. The 5K ends at 9, parade starts at 11, I believe. So those are the known entities during that event. So, and we will have performers in the Rotary Circle, the Moon Tree, and over at the gazebo next to the cowboy reenactors.
We got anything going on at 10?
I think that's the baby crawl, but I mean, I'm not sure how big that group's gonna be, but, and that'll probably be in the Rotary Circle. And it won't, it depends on how many entries we have. We're not gonna run 25 babies at once, so.
Yeah.
I haven't decided exactly where it's gonna be, because I don't want babies cooking on concrete.
Right.
And little tiny knees getting hurt, so we're gonna figure that out, but, I can get with you more specifically on that.
Earlier.
Figure out the best time for you guys, because you're gonna be collecting from, 9, I think, on, or 10 on for all the pies. So,
But we're gonna be right there.
you're gonna be right there, so.
And Nina, you think you can say a few words for the award of the Shadow Boxes?
Sure. On the 4th?
Or the presentation, yeah, on the 4th.
Yeah.
And then maybe we can get Tony.
I'm going back and forth with Tony, and he's still trying to see if we can reach out and find some of the former volunteer firefighters.
That would be wonderful.
See if they can be there for that. As far as police officers, I'm not sure. I don't think he knows.
Cause that was too long ago.
Yeah. I don't know if he's still in touch with any of them.
living, he's around, in the area that was on the police, the Keystone Police Department?
I don't, they're all passed away, the ones that I know.
Well, I'll see if I can't reach out to the granddaughters. Have you talked to any of the relatives of the police?
No.
Tony knows some,
Okay.
but if he doesn't, then I'll put something on Facebook
Okay.
and try to, get in touch with maybe just basically we wanna let them know so that they can be there. But it would be nice if we had like someone from the fire department, if they're still living,
If no
wants
one
to
else,
say something.
if no one else can try to grab Tony out there as well. So.
Yeah, well, he did go, he
Yes.
was on the Explorers.
Yeah, and he was on the fire department as well.
Yeah, so, we'll see, month, actually, we've got a little bit of time. Okay.
You know, if you can't find someone local, maybe somebody within the county, you know, with the fire department.
Fire department's not a problem,
Oh,
cause
it's
that's,
police?
yeah, police,
Oh, okay.
because I think it was in the eighties when we shut that down,
Yeah.
so, it's trying to, and
You just have to let me know what time, cause I'll start that race at 8,
uh-huh.
and then I'll be floating around all day.
You'll be happy.
Yeah, just whatever. Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so we'll just try to, and like I said, I'll get that information to you, and then, how much of that tub, did all the tub go back to Tony for the fire department?
No, everything that was displayed, I don't think anything went back to him.
Oh,
Everything that was at the Papa Museum was stored away and put away.
okay.
They're all behind you.
And, oh, okay, and so so the tub's in there, okay, so the badges are in there.
Everything's in there.
Yeah, everything's in there, so. Do you wanna take that with you?
I can grab it and then
Yeah.
when I get some time, I'll
Yeah.
take it to the lady.
Right, just because we're not gonna be doing anything with it right now,
Okay.
we'll have to, then it can happen, when you're done with it, it just goes straight to the storage unit.
Okay.
But, she's got a lot to pick through for the fire department, but
Yeah.
not much, I think we want all the badges and everything for the police department. Okay, let's see. Field trip, anybody got anything that we need? There was one thing that I have for next year for the field trip, and that is we need to see if we can't get, city maintenance to pressure wash the gazebo before, cause it was all dirty and spider webby and everything, and that's where
It's
the.
really moldy, like, just mold.
Maybe just freshen it up a little bit before, but we'll just, how much notice do they need?
They're gonna be, pressure washing this building, and we can ask if they cross the street to the gazebo in the next few weeks.
Well, no, what I mean is, we're planning
next
for
year.
next year, this is about the field trip, things to put on the list for the field trip next year.
Yeah, we can do that. Probably just a couple weeks.
Just a couple weeks notice? Okay, I'll put it on my little reminders.
We haven't said it.
Christine, if you could email, Bright, so email assistant@KeystoneHeights.us, he is working on a schedule for cleaning, and as he's working on that, he can, if you have a list of things like that, he can put it on the schedule for this following year.
Okay. Okay, regarding the field trip.
Instead of right before, cause that would throw off everything else, you cannot go ahead and plan for the year.
Does it need to be done now? too?
No.
It's been done.
Well, it is dirty, but.
Well, yeah, it
I
could
was
be
gonna-
done.
That's what I'm saying.
It is dirty, yes.
We
So
will
if
do
it's
it
dirty
now,
now-
we just need to make sure it's on the list.
Right, as long as we just,
Be just nice to have it. for
yeah,
next year.
freshen up for next year, but it.
But like you
it
said,
would
It's
be-
just spruced up for the 4th with the
Right,
satin.
so,
Right.
yeah, it's
Small
supposed
bus show
to.
over there and stuff, people will be over there, it'd be nice for it.
Yeah, the gazebo's dirty.
People will be
Okay.
performing in there, so.
The other thing is that with the 4th grade field trip, we had reached out to Lefray, and unfortunately, they are only allowed to have 2 field trips a year, and those field trips are, they are assigned like first thing in September. So unfortunately, we got to them too late in order to make that happen, so this year we're going to plan on being the first week of school and letting them know that if they would like to participate, that would be, wonderful, that they could
they understand about the program now. It's just that they didn't have the ability to do that. And their biggest issue is going to be transportation. No, but we will make that decision in August,
We
so
have
that
to
we
give
can
that-
give them the date.
They usually give it to us, and it's based on their testing for the year, and they don't get the dates for that until that year.
Well, here's the thing though, if they plan on having this as one of their events, even though they may not have the exact date, they can still allocate that this would be event number 1.
Right.
And then they can go ahead and do
As long
event
as
number
it's
2.
allocated.
Yeah, so.
Okay. So the next is the, anybody else have anything for the field trip that you wanna add? Anything you think we need to improve on for next year?
Really well.
Okay. So hopefully we'll get McCray in there next year, but it was, ran pretty well, right?
Yeah.
So the ethics training, we wanted to do something on the ethics training thing.
Well, I think it's a requirement of our board that we have ethics training and, with regards to sunshine law, really. And so I thought we were gonna set that up with either, Rich Commando or someone that was.
Who's in charge of that? Yeah, go ahead.
So just last year, I was elected to the board for the learning and training for Florida League of Cities for the state. And there's like 50 of us that are on this board. And we're talking about creating so-called SOPs for all elected officials to follow with the guidelines. Specifically in groups like y'all, basically it's a 2-hour thing online that you can do. I think when I sent you that link, you can actually hit that link because that's what the airport used as well.
Oh, okay.
And you do it yourself, and it's kind of based on your honest, say, hey, I completed it, send it to Miss Wendy so she can have it for
Okay, so
documentation.
if we do it online, then.
You can do it online.
Then we have met the criteria.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's either a 1 or 2 hour. I think when we do it, it's about a 4 hour. I'm trying to remember exactly. I've got to do mine this year yet. But the link I sent you is the one that's appropriate for the groups like this,
Okay.
which is exactly what the airport is doing now as well.
I can go back.
So that link should connect you, and if it doesn't, let me know, or one of us know, and then I'll find out. But I'm gonna create a reference thing for the office here,
Okay.
even for the council members, because we have some new folks as well, so they know exactly what they need
Now,
to do.
once we've completed it, does it automatically come back to the city and let them
No.
know, or do we?
They don't
have
track
to-
it.
Okay, so do we have to then tell you that we've completed the course?
That's what I would
Okay.
do. That's how I've done it. It's just, like I'd send it to Stephanie in the past, but send it to Miss Wendy and let her document it, just put it away in a file for ethics training completed for the year.
Okay.
You know, and maybe even at the end of the year, because they offer them on their website throughout the year. You just go under education and you can see when they offer about 6 or 8 times a year online, or you can do it in person. I always do it online.
Yeah.
So when you get through the online trainings for most things, you get a congratulations, you completed something.
So it'll show that you completed it.
Should be
It's
able
But
just
they
that
don't-
it doesn't come back to the city.
But the
Right.
city doesn't track it and the state doesn't track
should be able to
it, which
PDF
I'm
that.
trying to get them to change. Because I think that because people get slide through. And I think, maybe slide's not the right word, but I think all of us have ownership to that, and it has to be completed. Just, we all need the reminders.
I think you can PDF the last page or the last screen and then email the PDF file.
But if that link doesn't work, let me know. The one I sent you,
Okay.
because it's the same one the airport used.
Okay.
I forward that to all of us
When I go back and find
when
it.
you see, when you see if it works. If it works, forward it to us, okay.
Note.
Okay. Discussion of storage unit use. Okay, so I'm just gonna take care of moving all this stuff because I've sorted in the bins as I go. You'll have for the immediate future, the fire department, police department bin. And, when did we get there was supposed to be 3 or 4 bins ordered?
Drew.
So the bins that were ordered were the ones that we had at Chautauqua. You filled those in and those are already in there. If you need excess bins, they have not been ordered. We only had the ones, we had like whatever we had then. I did not order any more since then.
We need 4 more.
Just 4?
4.
Okay. That is no problem. I can have those ordered and they should be here within the next 2 days.
Okay.
Soon enough. I
Yeah.
apologize.
No,
I
that's-
remember now that I was supposed to do that, so
Not a
just wanted to make sure you knew I was human.
Anyway, I'll get those moved. I have a lot, and so I'll send you guys all the gate code and the combination code, so we'll have it, the city will have
And I
it.
do have it now. The code is, you want it right now?
We're on.
Yeah.
Okay. That's true.
We don't wanna tell everybody. So, yeah, email it. Let's see, new business. We've got the 4 County Historical Roundtable, and that's already been scheduled, and that's the biggest part of that. This one is not going to be catered, well,
Is this going to be at the pavilion?
yes, we've already, and the pavilion's already been reserved for this. So that's all completely, it just needed to be on our radar because it's coming up in September. And presentation from Dr. Rhonda Heiser.
Yes, she is
Okay.
here.
Hello.
You can come right up there to the front. I'll hand this to him for the
It's okay.
commission.
And don't forget the doctor part. I'm just Rhonda.
Hi, Rhonda.
If you guys will give me a second, I'll give you copies, I just haven't.
What I have is a proposal about in 2023. Well, first of all, I'll let you know I'm a retired engineer, civil structural engineer, and a retired attorney and a minister. So, and also a parent and for people that are getting older. I think they're gonna collect Social Security before I do, but then I got 4 little dividends, or 6 dividends, grab by the twins. So they keep me running pretty well, but then they grow up and then I have to do something with my own time. So I've always been a volunteer in the community. And I believe I have a CV that is in there that kind of gives you an idea of what I do. I try to stay out of trouble unless it's worth it. But I was asked to be a docent for a museum in Jacksonville. It was called the Museum of Southern History. A friend of mine said, I'll be out for 2 weeks, can you come cover for me? And I said, sure, I love history, no problem. I go in there and it was a little more Confederate than what you might consider. But within 2 weeks, I found out the curator there was also pilfering from there, over $300,000, and he was also selling antiquities. And nobody would call him on it. And come to find out, he also had some other legal problems. And so he stepped down. And nobody would step up. So I stepped up, and they were left about $15,000. And they had to move out because the EPA came in and said, this was built in 1908, and it's an old service station, and it's leaking through, so move. So we took what money we had, on a U-Haul station, and so I donated the U-Hauls to move it into a unit, 6 20 by 20, which is very large, units. And in the process, I stumbled across a flag that was hidden behind a bookcase, and it was an Abraham Lincoln coffin flag. Took it 13 months. Traveled all over the United States, and it's all in the New York Times and Chicago Sun and everything like that. It went up for auction last November, and it got $525,000. With that, we wanted to start another museum. Jacksonville said we could, until Donna Deegan found out, and she said, she's a mayor, and she said, no, we don't need that. And we were given a building, and it was jerked out from under us. And it was given to a different clientele, if you will. It's still not open, but that's fine. I went to Clay County where I live, in Orange Park. They don't have any room. And I went to Green Cove Springs. Man, it's too expensive. I've been all over the place. And then one day, I was playing with my keys. And I went, Keystone Heights. I love you guys. I fish in Lake Geneva. What am I thinking? And so I made a call. And I got Miss Drew back here. And I thought, I'm not coming hand in hand. I'm coming with over $300,000. I'm coming with antiquities that have been proven and authenticated. Because the gentleman that before, he had sold a lot of the original antiquities, so I had to go through and find experts and beg them, say, you know, you don't want to charge us for this. You just want to tell me if it's good or not. Okay, come on. And they did. And I have authenticity certificates. Try that 3 times. And so we have not just, it's not the Civil War, it's Americana. Now, I've been a professor at different universities. I've also been an adjunct professor. I was educated with England with my engineering degrees. I came back, went to the University of Texas Law School, and also at Faulkner University, Montgomery, in seminary. And so, along the way, I met a lot of people. I always love to do research. And I have databases. I have a lot of databases that are free. And I'm a grant writer. I write about $1 million to $1.5 million worth of grants every year. And I do it all for free. I do it because I want to. I've been very blessed in my life. I had to retire at 36 because I had bacterial meningitis. And I was left paralyzed from the neck down. And I was in a wheelchair for 15 years. And that's a wake-up call. And I couldn't do a lot, but a year in Brooks Rehab in Jacksonville gave me a whole new life, a whole new idea. And I was a Girl Scout leader camping in a wheelchair with my 3 daughters and my Cub Scout son. So to give you an idea, I don't give up and I don't quit. And to me, the 36 miles from door to door here is nothing. Nothing. And who knows, might need a summer home here before it's over with. But what I like here is the people. I was here Sunday from about 6 in the morning. I watched the sunrise right over here in the parking lot. And I was over here in the park, visited Dunkin' Donuts, which opens at 5, by the way. Very nice thing. Went down here, used the restroom in the, over here, very nice. And everyone here, when I happen to mention about different things, and even at the park, and the beach, by the way, those ATV riders over there messing up with the snakes and the grass. But they all have one thing in common. They're down to home people, but they're wanting more. They love their children. And we have an opportunity not to start way up here and throw people into stuff, but give them the opportunity to say, we would like to be a part of something, and let them grow with it. Because I come from Southeast Texas. You need to get that Texas drawl in there. I used to get hide it, but can't anymore. The town I came in doesn't exist anymore. It had 693 people in it. We literally had a person that would go out when somebody died, cross it out and subtract 1. He got confused when there was a car accident and 3 people died, but that was okay. We paid him $25 a year and he did the best he could. They did that up until 1987 when his son took over, okay? So I'm used to people being afraid of change. There would be no way a museum could have gone into my little town. No way. But here, yes way. You got everything it takes. you've got this. You ladies are sitting here, and gentlemen, and you are making decisions to help bring this community together, to help it grow, to bring new things in. And we're a 501c3, nonprofit organization that can raise funds. We can invest funds to make things grow. And if you're attached to the museum in any way, such as a joint venture, which is completely legal, endless possibilities. Endless. The only thing that I ask, simply, is to help be a part of it. I don't want a salary. I'll train your people if you have them as they come. I have connections with the Master Gardener program right there at the fairgrounds for landscaping. They'll come. They'll teach whoever wants to. Your park over here, they'll do a whole program over here, decorate it beautifully and show people what to do if you want it. Anything you want, we can get it. We can get scholarships. I know y'all have a lot for your children, but there's a lot more. I'm also offering new careers for kids that you may have never heard of. There are children out there that are not gamers. They're quiet. They read a lot. Very intelligent. And they like the library. If taught right, they would be able to do research, genealogical research. If taught right, they would also be able to be grant writers. Grant writers can make up to $200,000 a year, if not more, depending on where they're at, what they do, whether it's municipality grants, private grants, or whatever. I'm familiar with the different colleges around, not so much with Santa Fe, but I will be, if given the opportunity, to see if we can get some classes that would give them college credit. And that way, they will be able to learn museum law, which is, there is a set of law that you don't have to be an attorney to learn, but how to handle things, how to set up a museum. We set one up here, we have volunteers, they learn community service. They're ready to go to any university and they can go in and get the prime jobs in the libraries that would give them the experience to go out. A university librarian usually makes anywhere from $80,000 to $140,000 a year. And that's what I'm talking about. A researcher, they can name their own amount. I know because I've been on all of them, except not an official librarian, but I was there enough to know that I liked it because I like books. But the thing is, we can do this. There's no doubt. I attached some pictures in there of some tanks and a special jig that I made that people laughed at me back in the 80s. They said in a tank, there was oil tanks, and we had to make 8-foot diameter tanks, 12 feet tall. And they said we can only make one at a time, a day. I said, not with a hydraulic jig. There's a picture at the bottom of that. We made 6 tanks a day in 10 hours. Well, it shut the naysayers up. We made a lot of money that year and the year after that. If there's anything that can be done, it can be done. It has to have the will, it's got to have the backing, and it's got to have the belief. And with this proposal, I'm not asking you except to be a part to help. I'm not a control freak. I'm the first one that says, what do you think? If you got an idea, let's use it. I'm serious. I know what my idea could be, and sometimes it's not the greatest. So if anybody else has got something different, I'm willing to try it. And man, if it worked, I wanted to wear the tar out of that thing. So I want to utilize our children. Do y'all have a problem with trying to try community service hours for your kids?
No,
No?
no, especially since the state changed the law that you can work a job and now that counts as community service. And when that change happened, kids don't have any problem at all getting community service hours.
Well, here's the thing here. I was waiting for that. I was hoping. We get grants that pay part-time students minimum wage or above if that's something that they're going to do, or college, if they're going to use it for a minor, or if they're just interested in being able to do a survey for it, and they can get paid for it. And that's what they can do, and they can do that year-round as a part-timer. So that's what we have to do. So here, I'm sorry for the small print. I tried to make it bigger, but sometimes the computer just doesn't cooperate. But on my CV here, this is not all of the things, but this is on the left-hand side, is all my, right now, the things that I've done. Recently, within probably the last 3 years, I didn't do anything else, and I just threw this out here so that y'all would get an idea. And so, but if y'all have any other questions or want a more detailed one, I
I
can.
have a few questions.
Yes, ma'am.
First, I want to say thank you so much, Dr. Rhonda,
Oh,
for coming and speaking with us tonight, because we need partnerships and we need people that are in the community that are interested in investing in Keystone Heights. So I want to commend you for that, and thank you very much for being here this evening and presenting this. I did have a few questions though.
Yes, ma'am.
And I do think at some point down the road, if this is going to be a good fit, that we would need to set up several workshops to get into the nitty-gritty of how we could explore all of this.
Yes, ma'am.
As a member of the Heritage Commission, I can tell you that everyone on the Heritage Commission is deeply involved right now, as we speak, in trying to move forward in getting a museum into our community. So we've been working on that. That's one of our true passions,
Okay.
and certainly mine. I know that you said you had a 501(c). How is that structured?
It is structured basically only with a board of directors.
Okay, and
And
how
our-
many people are on the board?
We have 5.
Five.
It's 6 me.
Okay,
And there is, because we had some, a husband and wife, and they had to resign because of his health.
and are they all voting members?
They would be voting members, yes ma'am.
Okay.
But when they resigned their voting and everything. But beforehand, we did vote, and they have given me the go-ahead. If this was something that y'all wanted to do, we didn't want to hold you back. So because.
So everyone on your board is
Yes, ma'am.
moving
And I
forward with
brought, back here is, this right here is Ann Desjardins, and she is our cultural director, and, what is it, you do our education stuff too, I'm sorry, she's our
this. So your
executive.
5 directors are like key involved in.
Yeah, oh, yes, ma'am, we're all involved in
Okay.
everything, we have our meetings, we have everything, when we went to New York City, Ann and I went to do the auction for the flag. We spent a week there. It's all hands-on. I'm not a rogue person. One, I don't believe in it. 2, I feel like everybody had worked hard and deserved a say. And it was all unanimous, and not because what I said, but we had a lengthy discussion on everything. I just don't believe in people taking over. I don't. It accomplishes nothing. It creates negativity.
So you have, I just want to go back to that.
Oh, yes, ma'am, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So you have 5, and there's a couple, so now you would have 3.
Oh, no,
Directors?
we're right now, we're right at 5.
At 5,
Yes,
okay. And so you have antiquities and you have them stored someplace?
Yes, ma'am, we do.
And what time, I know you said Americana, but that can mean a lot of
Oh,
things.
yeah.
What kind of antiquities do you currently possess?
We have furniture, we have clothing, we
And
have.
what periods are they from?
They're from 1800, from like 1830s all the way up until the early 1900s.
Oh, wow.
We have furniture. We have, let's see, gosh, trunks. We've got weaponry, women's weaponry as well as the other, because we've got things that they use for poisoning and things like that. Some people collected some things. But we have all kinds. We also have epaulets. And really, to me, and pictures of Andrew Jackson. I loaned those to the museum in Tennessee. He's holding them for us right now because I did not want those in storage. And I have some dioramas of Gettysburg and some other places.
Oh, cool.
I've got the lusty flag of the Georgia 19th. And I have the family
This is great.
who, the great-great-grandfather was carrying it when he got shot and his blood's on the flag. I have the whole story of it. So yes, we have some wonderful things, but we also have enough room for everything because we rotate exhibits and we share exhibits under insurance and museum law. And I have, like I said, over 200 museums, and we're all under the same association, and we have to do certain things, certain paperwork, everything with insurance before anything leaves anybody's museum. And that's how it works.
So what kind of timeline do you have? What were you thinking, like your goals were when you came here? What timeline did you see?
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I was to the point, because I had done all my research and stuff, I was to the point where I had considered, and I hate to admit it, but I was considering taking all the antiquities and splitting them apart and donating them to different museums. Because we're sitting there wasting money, paying our rent. And what would be left over, we would have to, by our bylaws, split that money. Okay, just look at me, I'm sorry. After working so hard, and oh, by the way, back up just 1 second. I was interviewed in New York City, podcast, as well as a TV station in there, and I have a publishing deal for the Applegate Flag. That's what this is called. And there is also a TV documentary that would go along with it. And I signed an agreement that if it was to go, that it stays with the museum. So any proceeds would go to the museum now, or my heirs. And I would be signing that over too.
But you said you had 200 museums, so how would that translate to Keystone Heights and how we would?
It would bring you up, it would bring you into the light. It would bring you into being on websites. It would bring you to people coming to see you and what you have. Where you are located with I-75 on one and I-95 on another, people would come to you. And that's the idea, is that people would know that Keystone Heights exists yet again. Not because of a luxurious place to bask in the sun, but it is, or a bass capital or a fishing capital, but of knowledge, of culture, of something that you can give to not only the surrounding areas, Bradford County, even more of Clay County, which I'm sorry that they passed up, knowing what's there. But you guys would be the shining city. Y'all have been the forgotten city, as far as I'm concerned.
Did you have a timeline that you were thinking, like we could accomplish something like this?
No, ma'am, I was gonna leave it to you.
Okay.
If y'all were really interested. The money, I had looked at if we had to put a building up, how much it would cost.
What kind of figures did you have there?
It depended on what would be available for the zoning and everything, but if it was an old building, I love old buildings.
So
being an engineer. I have renovated many old buildings, including old haystacks, hay balers, wheat type facilities.
I hate to be so blunt, but I just wanna know, like, how much money could you give us to put up a building in Keystone Heights, and what size would that be to hold some of your antiquities and then hold what we already have that we want to display, and how that would look?
Well, what we do is that we have $300,000, and what we could do if we went with a metal building, completely done out with electricity and all of the other.
We've actually discussed that at one time.
And they are wonderful. The way they put them together, and if you have your city resources to help with being able to put a lot of the actual labor into it and everything, and then you can add on to it. You can actually make yourselves a beautiful complex, being able to have different buildings for different things, and that's when your grant money comes in, because everybody wants to expand, and it goes bam, 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 and they're like, oh, they're expanding. Then they'll throw money that direction. And I'm talking about the government. I'm talking about different people that have things that they want to see things come through. I mean, I got a $300,000 endowment for Fitzgerald, Georgia, up there, because they were wanting to see. I have a kitchen museum and what is that other museum up there? Clothing museum in Fitzgerald, Georgia, an African American. No, it's an African art museum up there. And they threw money at it, and it's beautiful up there.
Do you see like a ratio or a percentage of what, since this is the Keystone Heights Museum?
Yes, ma'am.
That there would be, it would be 50-50, would it be 60-40? Like, obviously you're trying to display some of the things that you have in other places and put it into the museum here, or to at least rotate out things, right? And include us in the 200 museums that you currently have. Am I getting this right?
You are in a way.
Okay.
What would happen is that you would name the museum. You have naming rights of the museum. That was what was also voted on.
And copyrights and all of that, like copywriting, like our logo and our name and anything that we would have with the Keystone Heights symbols and such, because we do have Keystone Heights symbol. So, yeah, I'm sorry.
I know, but I'm letting you know that I put it in writing. I put it in writing so that you know that we're offering you a museum.
Well, I say that we should explore this a little bit further and maybe set up a workshop where we could also have some other stakeholders here. And that would be our city council, our mayor and some other community members that might have also some, light that they could.
Well, I would be glad to. I mean, I can come back. I can tell you, I can come back just about any time you need me to, day or night. I can perhaps bring some other people with me.
Can I make public comment?
Yeah.
Do you mind?
No, go ahead.
So, maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but you have 3 council members from the city council right here.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah, I know that.
And I think we have the mayor right here.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
I saw your email, that's
And-
why I wanted to be here tonight, so nice to meet you.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you so much for considering Keystone Heights. And as far as I'm concerned, the Lord is smiling on Keystone Heights right now. We have been trying to put together a museum for more than a year, probably 2 or 3. We have so much stuff. We just held a pop-up museum last month here at our beach and the pavilion. We have more stuff than we could lay out in there. We didn't know we could put it all out there. We have it all in storage, and we would really like to share that. And this is like manna from heaven, as far as I'm concerned. And we just need to find the right place. And I would ask that we get some seats on the board of directors and put together a working group.
I think we need a workshop.
And we've got some money. We're not in debt. We got some money.
What's the name of your museum in
It's
Fitzgerald?
Museum.
What's the name of it?
Museum of Southern History.
I knew that Johnny was there. Hold on one second.
Sure.
Yeah, it's in here.
What was it? Oh, the name, because I was
Yeah,
trying to pull
yeah.
up, I don't know if this was it.
Oh, it does, they don't have something anymore. They
Um,
don't really do.
I took,
Everything in there's just a storage.
I took the Liberty.
Oh, there's an association.
That's what she's talking about.
Right.
This is our main checking account.
No, I think what the mayor is the name of the association.
Oh, our association is museum.
Okay,
That's-
so the one that
that's
you
the-
have.
I propose to use.
That was just, it's a kitchen museum.
It's a kid, okay.
I just wanted to help with the.
So.
What's the name of there? Because I see they've got one in blue and gray.
No, that's not it.
That's
I can't believe you
That's
guys
right.
down.
There's some issues with the town, but the lady is named Sue Rochford. She's also been a TV celebrity and everything like that, does art. Yes, ma'am. But to show you, we have a savings account, but that's our checking account right there.
Okay.
Well, let me just share, this commission up here, they are outstanding.
I can tell,
They
but
know.
I want to show you
The
that.
chairwoman there, she can talk about Keystone Heights history for 2 days straight and not stop talking. Okay?
As long as it's before 19.
Right. No, I
See,
mean,
that's our circles, our checking account balance.
if,
We have a savings account that has more money.
These are their balance right here.
you have a really well-qualified commission up there.
And that's why I'm talking, we have $363,256.09. And that, we have more in our savings. But this is what we wanted to do to bring it. Not hat in hand, but hand in hand.
We appreciate you.
And if you have, and this is what we do, start out small. You don't have to go big like you have. Pop-up museums are beautiful. It gets the word out. Okay?
It was very successful, by the way. And it was a pouring rainy day, and we still had over 100 people.
Well, what if you had a
And freezing cold.
But what if you had pop-up museums in different places announcing that you're having a bigger museum, they just have to wait for it. It's the best advertising that you can get. And when you have that, people are gonna start coming in and looking at it, and they're gonna leave money. Your coffers will start filling up.
Well, you have no idea the synergy that's going on with this. There are so many good things happening in Keystone Heights.
Yeah, our leadership here is about to have a heart attack.
And I do apologize, I normally dress up, but I was busy and I didn't have a chance to change it. But anyways, this is the truth. That's why I brought this, is because people come in and they spout stuff and they want people to believe and they have nothing to show behind it. They get people going. They get people all excited and get halfway through something and they disappear.
Yeah, that's why I think we really need to have several workshops set up and get down into the nitty gritty and have more of like, tables where we can each talk and really work through and massage all of the things that really need to go into understanding and organizing a museum. And what part each of us would play and how that would look from the council standpoint.
Now, if you have appointed council, I will take you into Jacksonville and I will show you all of the storage units, open them up and let you see them. I will show you what we had to move. Because the building is vacant, nobody can have it, the one that we left. But it will give you an eyesight of things, of what we have. Even though they're stacked, we have libraries, we have genealogical library, we have a history library. We got too much to do. But we have equipment. We have some of the state-of-the-art equipment for scanners. When books go out of print, this is also coming to you. People don't realize that you can go back and renew a copyright. I've renewed 205 of them for the museum. I've scanned them. We have the capability to print them hard copy. Each book would sell for about $50 a piece. So if we just
one book for 205.
We have
205
a
of
few
them.
that we would missed.
But see, I got them from the Library of Congress when I was in Washington, D.C. And so that's fundraising. So 205 books published at one time for $50. All of that is profit. Because all of the equipment, all the materials, everything, I had donated. I have a publishing place.
Well, like you said, we would like to start small and just get a building and then.
But you see,
start
this,
from
but
there.
I'm telling you, this is part of your equity that would come with the museum. Because for the next 20 years, you have those rights. And you can renew them again for another 20 years. And these are things that were printed in the mid to early 1800s. And I have the first editions on a lot of those. And then walk to the library. That's a lot. So I'm telling you, there's more equity here than you could ever imagine, and nobody knew it. I knew it.
So do we have to take a vote or do something like that to have a workshop or do, I mean.
Let me tell you something. I will do whatever you need me to do. Workshops. You want to speak and talk to people. You have questions. I'm not here. Call me on the phone. Okay? If you're in the middle of something, you call me on the phone. We still don't understand it. If you got time for me to get here, I'll get here. Okay?
I think right now we need, Wendy, do you know, do we have to vote on setting up a workshop?
Just
Well,
schedule it.
no,
just schedule it.
Just
Schedule it.
schedule it.
We need to get together and create a list of where do we go from here.
Would you like me to do that for you guys? What you might want to do?
Where we would go, what it would look like, what, just some
We
major
also have
questions.
to.
Because you know what you have, I don't.
We also have to abide by the sunshine laws, so it kind of inhibits what we do, and it all has to be done according to the sunshine laws.
Right. I'm
So we
familiar.
can't just meet privately.
Right. No. What I meant was without me being here. I mean, I understand what you're talking about. I'm talking about without me being here, that y'all figure out what you need or whatever. But if you're wanting to structure a museum, I don't mind meeting or sending you some information, what you might want to try to do. But you might have people you want to already talk to or talk to them, and it's up to you guys. I'm just available if you need me.
I think if you have information that you could help as it's a guide, then please email it to us. You can email it to Christine or email it to Drew. And then we will use that kind of as a guide. We're thinking like you. We don't know it all. We have never done a museum before, and you have. So we are open to suggestions. We're open for ideas. Of course, I have a whole laundry list of questions, but
If you send them to me, I'll answer them.
okay. All right. We would need to do that though as a commission.
Absolutely.
But-
And if y'all sit down, think them up. I travel. I have a pickup truck, a red pickup truck. You can't miss it in the police. Okay. And I have a red and white camper that goes behind it, and I travel to do things. And I've been called. I've helped redo the Gene Autry Museum. I've done Wisconsin Bay, the Children's Museum. I've done a ton of them. And so I would travel and stay in state parks and go and do all this stuff. So I have actually started from scratch. I've started 14 different museums, different sizes. Redoing museums, I'm probably about 80, something like that. So different sizes. I've been at this for so many years.
So if you guys need, you guys would just.
We just need a day for us to meet.
Yes. So
And-
you guys meet and then you can at that point do a council, or plan for the meeting. for
Right.
the next one.
Okay.
So
what do
maybe
you
my
guys-
fellow council members are thinking the same way, but I'm gonna add this to the June 9th city council meeting. And I'm gonna put out a motion to support this. Okay, so I want it to be clear that I think this is an awesome idea. I wanna thank you again for including us, thinking of us. And I hope that this, you never know what's gonna happen. But I hope that we are successful as a team.
Well, I'm gonna be very frank with you, it's y'all anyway.
June.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you, I can't keep going and trying and stuff after everything. So I so wanted to be you guys. I had no one else.
I
And
believe things happen for a
I
reason.
swear, I have no one else, so it's you guys or no one, that's it.
It sounds like
Yeah, what we
with
found.
your input,
we talked
you
about
could help the
just
workshops get past the
Yes.
chicken or egg questions and get into some
Now, the
productive
22nd.
discussions.
I can, and we are back there, and I've got some other people too, that we can walk them through and let them see that let it don't get bogged down.
Yes.
Because you'll come back to this and it's obvious.
Yeah.
The beauty is, we've just completed our strategy planning for the next 3 years. And the museum is in one of the buckets for us to accomplish. Not to just talk about, to accomplish. And as she said, they've been talking about this, because I used to be chair of the Heritage Commission myself. And I know we've been talking about, and that, I've been here almost 8 years now. So we are on board to support the effort. I feel like the workshop is gonna be good because they can each ask the kinds of questions based on what their needs are to, and how this partnership would actually work. You know, just trying to understand some of
I have one day
the
that I'm
intricacies
planning
of it,
to
you know.
Memorial Day weekend.
It sounds certainly right, like right around
I'm
the
good
time
for,
frame that
you know,
they
anywhere here.
certainly are trying to share with the public, is in the 20s, because the city became incorporated in 1925, but Mr. Lawrence moved here in 1921. So like, to probably do some history of the city, so, and we are, the children are getting educated about the history, there's all kinds of things happening. We think it's June 9th, celebrate that, getting into June celebration.
So June 9th.
So
We're
we're
trying to meet.
The timing is
Right.
actually
Right.
rather.
Prior to
I think I'm for me. Let me explain something else to you.
The 5th to the 6th is what John's saying.
I'm bringing to you the very first digital
Fifth?
Fifth, okay, and we go to that Thursday.
research library that was mentioned to the Library of Congress, NARA, which is the military, all of that.
Would that be here or at the pavilion?
Well, I'm
And
sure.
a lot, and it would fall into that, and the databases and everything, we would have.
You might even get UF students coming here
You would.
to do research.
You would, because it's lockdown and we're not going anywhere but in here, and that's the deal is it
And
would
we're
be a
trying to find
research
other
center.
things that draw people here, you know, as we're trying to burst the so-called economic growth is another one of the buckets. And this is certainly an avenue to do that.
Well, let me explain to them real quick if you don't mind just that one more thing. There's one other thing I failed to mention. With the museum, not only do you get the books for the libraries and stuff, which are very wonderful books, but you also get a digital library that comes with equipment. And it also comes with the digital part of it being able to reach into the Library of Congress, even into the rare books and everything to find out what they have, do the research, everything. Not even university libraries can do some of that. You also get the NARA, which is the National Archives Division, to be able to do military research. You also get, of course, you know, everybody knows Ancestry.com, but you don't know the behind the scenes part. And you get that, along with Fold 4, which is also part of it. But you also get some things that only government people would be able to have. And it would be under my credentials, it would be signed to you as my heirs. And that would be part of it. So you would have college students coming here.
We're gonna need a big museum.
It's called a
Need a bigger boat.
I'm telling you, I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. She's my sister back there, by the way. I should have just said, not my friend. She's
We
my
gotta
sister.
have a gift shop in this museum.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir, we do. And we also have a merchandiser if you.
Absolutely, we're gonna
so
sell
decide.
Christine's book, we're gonna sell that in the gift shop.
Well, the thing is,
We need a
Yeah,
Keystone Heights t-shirts.
you would get the library of, this is what you get.
We need Andy t-shirts.
This is what you get. You get the 15 searchable databases, which is just the basics one anybody can get, but you don't have to pay for them. You get the Library of Congress database, NARA. You get what they call the massive newspaper, which you get all over the world. You get any newspaper in the world with a translator, okay? Current and going all the way back to when any of the newspapers ever started. You have the Daughters of the American Revolution and the Sons of the American Revolution databases. You have the Confederate and the Union. You have the battlefield databases for every battlefield that was ever fought in the world. You have the Navy database for all of the ships, every person that was on a ship, or anywhere that they may have been killed in action, missing in action, GPS, all of that. You have, let's see here, and I cannot read your handwriting. Oh, you have the European database. You have the worldwide database.
This is very altruistic of you, and I'm just, I mean, did you really just pick like Keystone Heights, like just as a dart throw?
No, ma'am. I had given up, and I would just sit there playing with keys. And I'll tell you, I get nudged sometimes. I can't explain it to you because you think I was really nuts. My sister always does that. But sometimes I just get a nudge, and I just know the right thing to do. And I got nudged.
We're glad you came here.
And I'm excited because I know that it will make a difference in everyone's lives here. You'll find that if this is done right, nobody can take it away from you unless you give it away.
Well, thank you very much.
If y'all have any questions, put them in the email, all together, whatever, and I'll answer them. And that's it. Yeah, it's on the front page. It's FL2. Tejas is Texas in Spanish. I was born in Texas, Houston. So, yeah, they kicked me out of there and sent me to the woods. So, but anything else? Anybody have any questions?
We never did you up.
But let me tell you something. I do not go by doctor. Okay? I'm not a snob. I can't stand a snob. You can ask my sister what I do to snobs. So, thank you so much.
Thank you. Hold on a second, Margaret.
Yes, sir.
I just want to share with you, our Heritage Commission put together this wonderful calendar with pictures of our past, a journey through time. I want to give you the copy so you can get some of our history.
Okay.
And then I want to give you a Keystone Heights City coin
Oh my goodness, thank you so
and
much.
a 100th anniversary coin.
Oh my
And
goodness.
this is our centennial year.
Oh, this is, I'll be right back. Oh my
I
gosh.
just want to say thank you
so
for
much.
coming.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I will, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Anytime, like I said, I like to answer questions. Y'all don't do that by now. I said, I do.
I want to be sure we understand. So what, when you're saying we get this and we should add, it sounds.
Okay, so we have a workshop.
It sounds like.
I guess we get back to
Yeah.
That workshop is gonna be Keystone Heights.
No, it's gonna be cross.
Just us.
So that we share our stuff together.
Yeah, so we can.
Sounds like you plugged into
Give us 3 options.
I think that's it.
We're going to have to vote on
No,
this. Wendy, did they come up with a date for the workshop?
Yes, you said,
June the fifth.
June 5th.
June
Okay.
5th, yes.
No, the
He's
sixth.
saying his name.
June 5th,
Outreach
okay.
and networking with organizations. That should be, that's the,
That's word.
that's the whole county roundtable. We just, yeah, so we just already talked about it.
So the plaque is on.
Is that Thursday?
Thursday, write it down. Charlotte, they just want to make that.
Sounds like. We'll find your house.
We only have one more item, and that's a plaque, and then, you know, we all have plenty of time to talk, just finish this one last item, plaque application.
We have a plaque application for the Cadman House, which is located over on Lakeview Drive. They were one of the homes that were in our tour of homes at Christmas. It's a beautiful home. Lisa and James Kanos owns that property, and they have written the information up, so It's clearly one of our 100-year-old homes. It deserves to be plaqued. I have all their detail on here, and I've already spoken to the gentleman that did the plaque for Sue Plaster and her home, so that we're getting that ready to be processed. So once we have an exact dollar amount, I'll give that information to the current owners of the house, so that they can come and get the plaque presented.
So we need to.
Yes,
vote on
ma'am.
I just got one question. Is that a National Historic plaque
No.
or is that a local one?
That's just a local
Have y'all
plaque.
ever put in for a National Historic?
We're
plaque?
not a historic district.
Oh, got
You
you.
don't know.
Okay, got you.
So I guess we just need to vote on accepting the application.
Yes.
I make a motion, we accept that.
Well, right,
A second.
all in favor?
Aye.
We've all seen the house, it's absolutely beautiful, so. Motion carries and the application's approved. And so,